Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of Walk in Faith. I'm excited. I'm sitting down with my relative, I guess through my wife's marriage, but this is the first time I've ever interviewed a family member, and especially one that's, I got to be honest, more famous than me. But thank you so much. It's honestly, it's a pleasure, Mason, to sit down with you, Mason. Thank
Hey,
you.
it's a pleasure to come on here, do my stuff, and be interviewed by you. So,
Oh, I want you to do your stuff. I'll tell you, I watched the film. I wanted to go to the screening the other day, but I was busy. But they sent me a screener, and I wanted to watch it with my family. But when I watch a movie, I'm like taking notes. But it was really good, and you did a great job. And I said to my wife last night, because your character you played Ralph, right? Your,
yes.
your character in the film, and I know you play hockey. I said, I wonder, is that really him? Are you this like, I don't want to say macho, but you were like this real tough character in the film. But you did a great job, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I really appreciate the kind words. You know, I like to think of myself as a tough guy, but I'm not all that tough. But I enjoyed doing it for 2 months in Canada.
That's how long you were away for, 2 months?
Yeah, 2 months in the middle of nowhere, Canada, Winnipeg.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
yeah, so that's right above North Dakota. It's usually the coldest city in the world, but got lucky this winter.
Now, how did you get involved in the project, and what was it like working for Dallas? I mean, obviously you know his background, The Chosen, and he's done a lot of really great films. But how did you get involved in the project, and what was it like to work with Dallas?
So I got involved because my agents, they sent me an audition for the best Christmas pageant ever. And I auditioned originally, I believe, a few months before I actually even got the part because of the strike. But I ended up auditioning again, and we did reruns and stuff. And eventually, I find myself in the last straw, like the last people who were being chosen out. And I get to meet Dallas, I get to meet Amanda, and as soon as I meet them, I know it's going to be special. If I do get to work on this with them, then I turn my chair around like this during the interview, like trying to be all tough and everything. So I'm sitting like this, playing the part, like, but and they laughed a bunch, and I laughed a bunch during the interview. So that went really good. And then little do I know, I got to leave everything behind for 2 months, and I'm off to
Oh,
Canada.
that's great.
So
Leave everything behind. And how old were you at the time? 11?
I was 11, and
A
I
lot, a lot,
actually
a
had my
lot to
birthday
leave
on set.
behind. Yeah, congratulations on your happy birthday. But it's funny as the way you said it, like as an 11-year-old, to leave everything behind, the job, the kids, the dog. Not that much responsibility at 11, but that's great. And did your who's your agent, Barry?
Harry Coker,
Yeah,
yes.
well, when I was young, like I'm so much older than you, but when I was young, he used to represent me too. He would send me on auditions. So I remember doing monologues for him, and he would get me auditions. And he used to be in Manhattan. I don't know if he's still in Manhattan. And he worked with another woman that used to be like my agent when I first started as a kid, as an actor. I think I was about, I don't know, 17, 18, but I didn't really do well. I mean, I didn't really succeed. I mean, obviously you are really succeeding. So you're on the right track. But did he give you the advice to turn the chair around? Like, whose idea was that?
That was just off the book. I never really did it before, but just came to me naturally. So
There was a story, I forgot who it was now that I should know, but she went in the audition. She had gum in her mouth. She's famous. I can't believe I forgot. And she put the gum under the chair and she did the audition and she picked it up and she put it back and she left. And they thought there was something wrong with her. But then when she said goodbye, they realized that it was sort of part of her shtick. And they casted her. It's like Meryl Streep, but someone really famous. I can't believe I forgot.
yeah,
But
you got that a lot, and especially like auditions. It's just something about a person. It's a weird little thing gets in the part, and
you did it, man. So what was it like? All right, so now you're on set the first day. I mean, so what was it like? Tell me. I've never been on set for 2 months, so tell me what it's like.
so there's Canadian kids, the actor kids, and the SAG kids who are American. And I get in the van. I'm picked up outside of my hotel, and we start meeting each other, and eventually they have to split us up into tutoring. And tutoring was also a really big part of the set. It's where we were most of the time on set because we had to get in like 5 hours a day, 4 hours. I don't remember exactly, but a lot of tutoring. And first day on set, I had butterflies in my stomach. I've never really worked on a major picture film before like this, and even though I didn't really do anything the first day, I got to meet everyone and know what the deal was. So that was my experience.
And it becomes like a family, right?
Yeah, if you're spending 2 months together, no matter who it is, I think you bond in some way. And it happened really quick for all of us. And even with Dallas, he works so well with the kids. I mean, he puts us all together, and really, I think every young actor needs a mentor of some sort in their career. And I think Dallas really was for me to start off my acting career. And yeah, he's helped everyone on set out. Like he was always there for everyone. It was just a pleasure working with him.
That's great. I remember too, years ago, we did a mo movie called Cake, and I remember the last day, I got emotional. I'm saying goodbye. I was pretty young, but I wasn't as young as you. And I got so emotional, like, because you're with these people all day. And then, like, I remember the wardrobe woman, I was like, goodbye. I'm not going to see you again until the premiere. But you build this, like, it's like a family. Right? You're 15 hours, 14 hours together. I mean, it's like a second family.
It was the same thing for me, and every one of the cast members last day, we're all crying,
You were crying? Ralph was
signing each other's
crying?
books. Hey, can't blame me. It was a long time we were together. And, it was a movie that brought us together, I feel like. And it was special to all of us. I mean, everyone from kids who worked on tons of movies to kids who were doing this as their first movie. I mean, it was really special what we did together. So it brought us all together.
What was sort of like, because, what was, if you had to pick a scene or a time or a day, what was sort of like the most special time or something that really like tugged on your heart?
It was when I was with my mom at the Forks in Canada. Forks is like this little local hub for every one of the people who live in Winnipeg, and we're there pretty late on the ice skating rink around the place, and we put on our skates, and I'm taking her through the through this like forest of lights, and I say to her, this is really special what we're doing, and we're never going to forget this together, and we
Wow.
really haven't because it was a great bonding thing for us too, and I think we've made some of our best memories ever there.
Wow. You said it to your mom?
Yeah,
That's so sweet. What did she say back?
hey, get out of here.
Oh, really? What'd she say? Tell me.
No, uh, no, she was said the same thing back, and honestly, I'm grateful that I have a mother and a father like I do. They support me so much with my career, and
You're
s-
making me cry here, buddy. You're making me cry. It's so beautiful.
thank you. And even after everything was done with the movie for a while, we go to Syracuse to start working on another little project that I did, and we're walking through the Hobby Lobby. I'm like, Mom, let's get out of here. Come on, I'm tired of this mall. We've been here for forever. And as we're checking out, we come across this.
Oh my God. Wow.
And by Dallas and Amanda, what is it meant to be chosen? And my mom says that there really are signs everywhere about, life and stuff. What does it mean to be chosen? For to represent a ton of different things, like what does it mean to be chosen for this movie? Like this project specifically, and what did we bring to it? And everyone has their own story about it. Everyone has their own story about what they were doing on set. Like they can name a billion things. It was special.
And why do you think you were chosen? Beyond the audition. Spiritually,
For a while, I lost a lot of my will to really act. I kind of just wanted to hang out with my friends and stuff, and I didn't really wasn't really active without through the strike. So it was taking a toll on me. I would audition for everything and I wouldn't really get it, and it was my own fault. But this thing really brought me closer to acting and brought me closer to like really knowing if you want to do it or not. And most importantly, it brought me closer to my faith,
mm,
especially with Dallas. And I mean, this is a great book here. I've learned so much. I've asked me and my grandma, we go over the Bible sometimes, sitting down. It's special what we do. together. I mean, I really do think it brought me closer to faith with God up there, Jesus, and everything above.
Wow. Wow, you're a powerful little kid, man. I mean, I interview people all day. I mean, most people aren't even are able to articulate that. But you're right. I mean, it brings you closer to your faith. I wasn't ex Listen, my questions here were about your favorite Christmas present. I didn't think you were going to even go in that direction. I mean, that's what I do all day is talk about, people's journey of faith and how movies like this, like we just did Mary an hour ago, and how films like that bring people closer to Jesus. But the fact that you identified that and recognized that, and your mom found that book, listen, there's no coincidences. There are zero. Because if you think about, I don't know the audition, how it happened, but you think about all the things that have to line up for you to get the audition, to get the part, to get the film, to be in Canada, all these things have to line up. And that's how you know it's the hand of God. But then, like, as a little bit older of a person, there's a lot of responsibility that comes along with when you get these roles, when you get these jobs. I mean, I've been in this business, oh my God, almost 30 years now as an actor, then producer, director, and now I do five different things at once. But there's a lot of responsibility. And the fact that your mom recognized that and saw that sign, there are signs everywhere. And maybe this was, like you said, it brought you closer to your career. Maybe it opened up, your eyes to a different sort of genre of films. I mean, the faith-based films, there's so many. And the one thing I learned about doing faith-based projects is you do films and yes, it brings you money and it's fun and it's fulfillment. But when you do things like this film, right? You watch that movie, it's funny in the first hour, and then all of a sudden there's this message and it's powerful. And you're part when you're playing Joseph, and just like you can really change people's lives and inspire and impact people, but also impact and inspire yourself. That's like the power of these projects that Dallas does, The Chosen, this film. I mean, you have the ability through the gift that God has given you to really impact people's lives. I mean, that's what you did on screen.
I mean, as a character going down that aisle in the last scene of the movie or one of the last scenes, you could really feel like what the Herdmans were feeling, throughout their entire lives. They didn't feel accepted. They felt like they had to be bad to prove themselves or something. It's a sad story that they have, not having really any parents to support them, anyone there for them. But as they're going down the aisle, Imogene or Ralph, I could feel my character really developing into, feeling his story specifically, and the entire Herdmans and the town adjusting to them and realizing that, you shouldn't have judged them for first glance.
That's right. And even like you said, like when you feel that sort of connection to the character that's tugging on your soul, it's not just the character, it's you as a person. Whether you had this, maybe it's something you reflected on, or maybe you reflect on it later on in life, but we all judge people. I mean, and the film was created that way. I mean, the first 40 minutes until they go and deliver the food, the father, you have this sort of preconceived notion on these people. I'm judging them because that's what Dallas wanted us to do. And then when he delivers the food and sort of that sort of that tug on my heart and my soul, and I'm like, oh my God, I was judging them. I was laughing at the family because that's what the film wanted me to do. And then I realized and I reflected that that's not what we're called to do. We're called to love people and to really to sit there and look at them and not judge them and say, we don't know what they're going through. We only see a certain sort of perspective or an aspect of their lives. But when he showed us the full picture, we look at that family, like you said, and said, that's why they were misbehaving. That's why they acted like that. That's why that family dynamic was like that, because they didn't really have parents. They didn't have a loving parent. And you said earlier too, like when I was young, my father passed about almost 2 years ago, but they were always supportive in my career. I used to work on shows all the time and acting, and I'd call them and say, Ma, and she was my fan. And I would tell my mother all day, you don't know who I met. And now I look back and I'm like, at the time, say I was an extra. And I'd be like, oh, I met this person. And she was so excited. And my dad would always cheer me on and watch my movies. And so to have that on set with you, I'm telling you, as you get older, that is probably, because not everybody has that, but that is like the best thing to know that your mom and dad are your number one fans, and you had that time to spend with them, ice skating and talking to them. They were at the premiere with you. They hosted the event last week. My mother-in-law was the soda promoter or the sponsor, which she's been telling me about. But to have your family there, man, that's a blessing.
Yeah, I mean, from my family, from strangers, everyone's saying that the story made them cry again, right? Absolutely ball everywhere. And that's easy to do when you're looking at the full story and understanding what it's about. And I really am lucky to have this opportunity.
Amazing. So what's next now? What do you got going on besides hockey practice or school? What do you have coming up?
Whatever the big man has planned for me. I mean, I'm going with the flow. I'm enjoying it and having fun.
What about in school now? When you walk around, I mean, people must be treating you differently, right? You must have like nine, sort of like potential prom dates. Oh, you're only in seventh grade, so you don't have a prom this year. But I mean, what's changed in school?
Um, Gotta say, I really kept my circle with my friends tight. I mean, they'll look me up on Google sometimes, and they'll have a laugh with me about the stuff I've done, especially in LA for my premiere and the interviews about that. And I kept my circle tight enough to I know the people who are with me are didn't change for me, and that's what I really appreciate.
That's good. Yeah, don't let and it probably won't because you wouldn't have answered the questions that way. But that's the one thing. And I've interviewed thousands of people, maybe even more than tens of, I don't even know. I mean, I've interviewed people like pretty much every day. And especially the successful ones, the really successful ones, most of them haven't changed. They're the same people. And it's really inspiring when people say like, they ask me about celebrities and I'm always like, no, they're really nice. And that's the one thing, like, too. And then in this business, the one thing I've learned, and I think especially now with this younger generation, is always be ready to pivot. Because, like, I started as an actor and I said, that's all I'm doing, no plan B. And I pivoted left and right and learned how to direct and write and produce, and then started doing the reality shows and the TV shows. And my career just kept changing. But in the end, it was just one sort of one goal, but I had all these different ways of getting there. And I think just like you, like, you want if it's whatever it is, acting, producing, just be open to, all of these other sort of opportunities that are going to lead you in that one path. But like you said about your circle, just always keep your eyes. For me, I keep my eyes on the cross and make sure that I remain humble and always remember, like you said, the big guy. Always remember, unless you were referring to Barry, your agent, but I'm
No,
assuming
I was referring to the big guy up there.
that's right. The big guy. But always keep your eyes on that because you never want to change. And you always, like you said about your parents, like just be so grateful for that because I'm telling you, man, call my mom now. She's older now. She's almost 80. Sometimes she doesn't even know who I am. Who's this? Sean Craig. She doesn't know who she's speaking with, but I'm just kidding. She's not senile yet. But it's a beautiful thing to be able to have someone in your corner that, loves you and is there for you and cheers you on, man. That's the best. You're
Yeah,
a lucky little kid.
yeah. I mean, nothing else to say about that. I mean, I really am blessed with everything I've been given and the opportunities. Who knows where they're going to take me? And I'm just going to go with it. No
Well,
matter if it be hockey, I recently moved teams and it's been working out pretty great so far. And everything acting I do, I just know it's for a purpose and to expand my wings and grow more as a person.
that's great. Well, hopefully you'll be on The Chosen. So Mason, if people want to get in contact with you, social media, what do you have a website? How can people look you up?
So they could follow me on Instagram at Nelligan.Mason. Right now, we're working in it on getting the account from getting off private mode. We're not big tech people, so we're trying to figure it out right now. But if you want to get in contact with me, follow me there, or you know,
That's it. People will find you. Well, listen, now that we're like, we're family, I guess, right, through marriage. Now I have a cousin who's famous. Now I have another cousin through marriage that's famous. So and I had to start, I got to step it up a little bit because I'm getting older and as it looks now, your IMDb credits are probably superior to mine. So,
yeah, I think you're doing just fine, personally.
oh, thank you. Listen, my job is to bring people to Jesus through my gifts and just like you, I mean, that film, really, I'm telling you, like I was surprised. Like I first started watching, I was like, oh, this is going to be a comedy. And then it hit me. And I was like, man, I wasn't expecting this. And you did a great job. You really did a great job. So I commend you for that. And if there's anything I could do to help you, please let me know. We only live about, I don't know, 6 minutes away from each other. So I'd be more than happy to help you in any way. And hopefully, you get a part on The Chosen. I mean, I would love to see
Hey,
you.
I'm not opposed to that at all.
Yeah, I would love to see you, in The Chosen. I always cover The Chosen, so it'd be great to interview you for the next season of The Chosen. So hopefully it works out, Mason.
Hey, hit me up, Dallas. I'm always open.
Well, Mason, thank you so much, and I will thank your mom and my mother-in-law and everyone that is sort of in your corner and connected us. And sorry I didn't go to the screening last week, but I look forward to seeing you probably during the holidays. So, Mason, it's been a pleasure.
Greg, thank you for having me on Walk of Faith.
Thank you. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Walk in Faith. Always remember you have the ability to inspire and evangelize through words and actions. God bless you. And watch his film. And really, just the way he spoke about his connection to faith at this age, at 12 years old, 11 years old, to identify that and be so, vocal about it and articulate it is really a gift and it's inspiration to all of us. So thank you so much, Mason. I'll see you in town.
All right. Thank you, Craig.